All children are vulnerable, and what makes them vulnerable is that they are children.
A warning tonight from a mother about sex trafficking. Now, you may think that it's something that could never happen to your family, and that's exactly what this suburban mom I spoke with thought. You're about to hear Jessica's story, but first, our Michael Wooten gives us the cold hard facts about the problem right here at home.
Human trafficking is a hidden crime.
But it's happening right here in Western New York, with so many of the victims children. 115 local young people, those up to age 20, were trafficked last year alone.
Traffickers are very talented at finding vulnerabilities in people and exploiting them.
But this region is fighting back, with law enforcement and nonprofits getting so much better at finding victims and helping them become survivors. Compare the 115 young people assisted last year to just 62 minors identified in 2015. To build on what's working, the state just awarded Erie County's Safe Harbor program a $43,000 grant.
A victim-based approach is the only way to attack these nefarious criminals that prey on others.
Local, county, state, and federal partners have worked together through a Western New York task force. Now, the Erie County DA just started a new unit in his office, with these agencies working together to prosecute the criminals.
Human trafficking is a modern-day slavery.
As one mother now so tragically explains.
In 2009, we were living the American dream. We had 3 beautiful children that were all successful in school.
Nicole and her husband were raising their son and 2 daughters in a suburb outside Seattle, Washington.
My youngest was 15. She was in the orchestra and played the violin. She also played both varsity and junior varsity soccer for her high school, as well as on a traveling rec team.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and I'll never forget being on the network team because I've met a lot of new people and I love the people here, so yeah.
Was she a happy kid, or was she personally struggling with anything?
There were no red flags that told me that trouble was on the horizon. It was just normal.
That was until March of 2010, when one day after school, a friend handed Nicole a letter from Jessica.
This letter was a 5-page, beautifully written letter explaining, in her words, that she needed to go find herself. And if we loved her, we wouldn't search for her and she'd be back.
While Nicole called police and reported her missing, Jessica made her way to a homeless shelter for teenagers in Seattle, where she met a young woman who quickly offered to be her friend.
And told my daughter, look, you're out of the house, you have no rules, let's go get drunk. Have you ever gotten drunk? No, I've never gotten drunk. We can stay up till midnight, we can smoke pot, we can do all these things that she had never experienced.
And this new so-called friend, in just a matter of days, began grooming the naive 15-year-old into the very dark world of child sex trafficking. Jessica was raped, held captive in a basement, and made to walk the streets of Seattle. She eventually managed to escape, and when police returned her to Nicole 10 days later, she did not recognize her own daughter.
Everything about her had changed. So she had long, flowing brown hair when she left, and now it is very short and choppy and red. Her nails are done. She has on makeup.
And the shock and awe did not end there. Jessica did not want to prosecute the people who held her, and she didn't want to talk about her ordeal. Secretly, she was staying in contact with her traffickers by cell phone, and 2 months later, Jessica disappeared again. She was gone for 47 days when Nicole got a phone call from Jess on her birthday.
She told me that she was being hurt and that we wouldn't want her anymore, that she was a bad daughter.
And do you think that was something the trafficker was telling her, or someone was putting in her head?
I just think it's one of those lies that a young child is told and unfortunately believes. It was bittersweet because I knew my daughter was alive. And up until then, you don't know if she's alive. But she's being hurt and you can't help.
But that phone call did help, and also an email that Jessica sent later allowed police to track her down and set up a sting using a website known for selling underage girls. After 108 days as a sex trafficking victim, Jessica was recovered and returned to her parents.
We really needed professional help, and I worked very tirelessly to find it. Things have not been easy. It's not an easy road to recover a child or a family that has been through this tragedy, but somehow we have managed to put most of the pieces back together by the grace of God. It's been a miracle.
And tomorrow in part 2, we'll explain how those traffickers kept a hold of Jessica. Now, if you suspect that someone that you know could be a victim of sex trafficking, you can call the National Trafficking Hotline. There's a number 1-888-373-7888. They take calls 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.